Boom. Alrighty, guys. We're here with Chris. I can't stand you. Elliot, Riff, Ricky, myself, and Bento in the corner.
Yeah.
We're absolutely here. Dude, firing after SoCal is amazing. So we'll start off with...
We are fresh off after SoCal. And we have Elliot here. And the way we met you was interesting. If anyone doesn't know, if you've seen Pixel Game Squad, you probably have seen Elliot, but may not put a face to the name of Game Tower. We buy stuff from you all the time. But before we get into who you are, how you became all this, I just remember one time as Curtis literally crawls across the floor, Ricky and I were at a swap meet, and these two guys, Elliot and a guy named Chris, approached us and were like, hey, we watch your show, blah, blah, blah. And we just started talking. We didn't even know you had a store. I don't even know if you had a store at that time.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
We started talking since then, and we've kind of hung out with you. But just wanted to give that little brief backstory. But tell us about you. You have Game Tower. How long have you owned it? What got you into doing this? And where are you at now?
And your socials.
Yes. Social Security. And your green card identification number. Wait, quick question. Are you brown or white? Because you look white.
I guess white, but Latino at the same time.
Latina?
He's both.
That's what I heard.
But yeah, I do get that a lot, that people think I'm white.
Yeah.
And even when I go to the swap meets and I'm talking to Latino vendors, they still try to talk to me in their broken English, and I speak to them in Spanish.
Yeah.
So there's like a dialect here, you know?
I kind of get the chameleon bartering too, because a lot of people think I'm Mexican, a lot of people think I'm white, so I kind of I just play into whatever gets me a better deal.
Yeah.
So it's either hey brother or hola. I got to do what I got to do.
I just shoved my mayo on the table. I'm telling you what I am.
You have a question.
And can you speak Spanish fluently?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Is that like your first language too?
No, English, my first language.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So tell us about Game Tower. How'd this start? Where'd it come from? What got you into all this?
Game Tower started in March 2018 with my buddy DJ Chris. Before that, we were vendors going to multiple events, multiple expos, and we definitely built a huge community because we were just always game hunting nonstop, just like you guys going to the swap meets. We're always on Craigslist, OfferUp as well. And doing yard sales. So we built up a lot of inventory, and we started going to all these events, buying, selling, and trading, and people like our deals and our personality, and we didn't take things serious, It was just a fun little hobby that we had. And it started to become big out of nowhere because our followers on Instagram literally will tell us, yo, you guys should open up a store. And I was like, yeah, sure. I don't know. Cause having a store, it's a lot of work, and, Chris.
Yeah, I can attest to that.
Chris knows.
So, I wasn't for it about having a store. I was fine what we were doing, just being regular vendors. And, DJ Chris, pushed me to be business partners with him to open up Game Tower.
Wow.
And at the time, I think I was probably 25, 26 years old. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm young now. So even if I do fail, it's okay to fail because I did it while I was young.
Your backup plan's still early.
Exactly. Yeah. So we decided to do it. And we opened up the first store in Northridge, California, March 2018.
Wow.
Is Chris still involved with you as a partner?
No. So Chris actually left Game Tower a month before lockdown.
Oh, wow. He did? Okay.
Of COVID.
And it was like before he even knew it was going to happen?
But yeah.
Okay, he wasn't
So he missed out on kind of the good times.
Yes. Because I took over, I took over Game Tower February 2020. And then the lockdown happened March 2020.
Cha-ching! On my birthday.
Oh, really?
On my birthday is the day that I was eating in a mall and got the thing like, NBA is shut down, this and that. You have to go to your house. And I was like, what is this? And people are like, toilet paper! And I'm like, I was just at the mall like, what's happening? I spent my birthday getting cans at a grocery store because apparently we were all going to die. But
Did you get the toilet paper too? Because remember, everyone needed toilet paper, and
I was in an area where people weren't fighting over toilet paper.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was a good. What happened? Ben keeps looking off to the side. You okay, Ben?
So you could see that TV and camera
Oh, no worries.
Sneaky,
No worries.
sneaky. And
Yeah, we're okay then.
The audience gets a little behind the scenes. You know, the video watchers, audio listeners get waxed. I know,
Maybe.
right? Probably some bad jokes
Just
in there.
bad spelling.
Just Bento up there, producer Bento.
Yeah,
producer
but you
Bento.
like that. You like that.
Reminder for thumbnail.
That's funny.
So at your journey in Game Tower, did you feel like you guys were successful out of the gate, or did you feel like it kind of took a while to feel like, okay, we're doing...
Yeah, I'll say right off the bat, man.
Wow, good.
Chris and I had to work like double shifts because just the nonstop trade-ins, the foot traffic, promoting the store, all the advertisement, it was just nonstop. And I would say like the first 3 months, we didn't take a day off, and it was just me and him until we decided like, yo, we need a
employee.
We need an employee, man. We need someone just to clean carts, clean the disc, because it's so time consuming. Yeah. And at the same time, we're getting all that foot traffic in, and we had I want to say in the beginning, we were open from like 12 to 6 p.m. We had to extend the business hours. So we actually opened up from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. So just the nonstop traffic that kept coming in. So I'll definitely say right off the bat, we were extremely busy.
Nice. I'm just curious, why did Chris leave? Why is he not a partner anymore?
So Chris, his other, I would say main career is he's a DJ, does music, electrical engineer. So he was always passionate about that. I think Game Tower is kind of like a second thing for him,
Gotcha.
And, that's totally fine because, in life, you got to figure out what you like, what makes you happy, you know. And his thing was music, know. And I went with him, to wedding parties and all that while he was a DJ and all that. I'll help him set up his lights and his DJ setup and all that. So you can tell, I guess you can say he was more into that, But don't get me wrong, he loves video games. He loves the business aspect
super cool.
of it. But
from being a store owner, I've realized that you have to make it your life. I think any store owner you talk to, it becomes your life. I don't think you can half-ass it.
Yeah,
you can't.
You really can't.
You really
are
have
Game
to
Tower.
go. Yeah.
Good job wearing the shirt too, by the way.
Yeah.
Stay on branding.
I literally got out of work, so I was there this morning, and we were busy. You guys should have seen it today.
What's the best game or thing that ever came into your store?
Ooh, I like that.
And did you wax them?
So I would say the most unique item we ever got at the shop was a prototype cart. It was like the jumbo size N64.
Okay, yep.
It was Batman Beyond.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Nice.
So, and it shows the manufacture date from they were, I guess, making the game in production, and then when you look at the release date, it was a year later. So I was like, oh, so this is what they were using to test the game, And technically, we kind of got that in for free in the shop because at the time, it was a big trade-in, right? A bunch of N64 games.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that jumbo cart, but I didn't pay attention to it. I thought it was one of those cleaning cart
Tough
things.
to tell sometimes.
Like, you put inside a 64. That's what I thought it was.
A lot of them don't have labels on them and stuff. You don't know what they are.
Yeah, and then it was kind of like face down, so I wasn't able to see that it was Batman at the time.
Was it painted? I saw Chris get one and Ben get one, and they were both like spray painted. I was like, wait, why are they always spray painted?
No, it was actually like engraved into the car, and then it was the company Chemco.
Yeah, Chemco.
Okay,
Yeah.
Chemco.
So
Dang, Ben and Chris got fake ones. Got spray painted ones.
Prototypes.
That's right. Ricky and I are still figuring out one that we just got. That Ricky just got. He got one called Street Heroes, and it's like a prototype. Apparently, only 2 have ever been made of this NES game, and Ricky paid up for it. And we were testing it at his house. We're like, it doesn't work. Oh God, I hope something's on here.
Dang.
That's a pretty awesome one, though, Ricky.
That is
You told
pretty
me
sick.
about that.
Did you tell him about the Capcom?
Yeah, did I tell you what the Capcom ended up being? I think I did.
Tailspin. You said.
Tailspin. He got a prototype Capcom cart that just said Capcom. Please return to Capcom when done with game. And we plugged it in, and it was a Tailspin
That's
prototype.
sick.
Yeah.
What'd you do with the prototype? Did you sell it? Keep
So
it?
I actually traded it off to Ryan. Friar
Ryan.
Nice. So if you actually hit him up, I think he has it in his personal collection.
I bought my prototype of the Stunt Racer 3000.
Oh,
I think
that's
it is, which I guess was in a game that never came out on N64.
Was
from
it?
Ryan.
Yeah.
Was it supposed to be the other Stunt Racer game or something?
I don't know. It was like a precursor to it or something, but
Okay.
it says Stunt Racer.
What was the best thing
3000.
ever traded into your store? I don't think I've ever asked you.
I had a sealed KO, like the
Oh, yeah.
KO or KO. I'm not sure.
Is that
how you say
32X?
it. Sega CD.
Sega
Sega CD.
Yeah, and then I have a sealed Mike Tyson's Punch Out that came in.
Nice.
Some expensive sealed stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elliot, have you ever, and listen, we can be honest here, have you ever unintentionally whacked somebody where like it was at the, I know you have with, well, because I remember you said that Conker's bad, Sculptor's Cut manual was at the bottom of a trade-in that you didn't know was in there until they left.
Kind of like what Elliot said. Yeah, it was at the bottom, and we thought it was like garbage. You know, when you get to the bottom of a bin, and you're like, oh, it's just junk down there. And we were literally cleaning it out, and then it was like, oh my gosh, that's a Sculptor's Cut.
How much is that worth now?
The manual, I think, is like maybe $2,000 for the manual.
Oh my god!
I think
The manual's
4 or 5. Yeah, it's up there. Yeah, it's up
100
there.
or 1,000?
1,000.
Complete or just the manual?
Yeah, you can ask more. Just text him.
Yeah, isn't more
The
than
manual's
looking
the
for
hardest
one
I'm going to look
Yeah, it's
right
the
now.
hardest thing to get.
I'm going to look right now.
Well, the crazy part about that story was I had the cart traded in several times. The box came in alone one time, and then the manual. So they were all separate. So it was like the universe.
Price charting
coming
has
together.
it too.
Frankenstein.
I said two.
So it's like stated events. You can't go off price charting for like the ultra rare stuff.
Okay, Ben
there's
says
like
you
no-
can't go.
Ben's
No
a genius
sales.
on this
Yeah,
stuff.
pump it up, pump it up.
I guess one important question that I have for you is like when you first started opening up your store in 2018 and then you hit COVID, like what type of business strategy did you have to change to be able to be successful?
So at that time, we didn't have no online source. I never sold anything online because we were so busy. I was so used to customers
traffic.
coming in, right? When COVID happened, obviously I started posting things up on eBay,
Instagram.
doing claim sales on Instagram. It helped out, for a bit, but not much until Whatnot contacted me.
Let's go.
Yeah, Whatnot.
They
And,
reached out to you.
yeah. Well, because my buddy,
I see the jealousy. Wait a sec. They reached out to you?
so my buddy,
Relax, Chris.
so
They never reached out. Dang. So I didn't get the call. I missed that one.
So my buddy Tony, Panawan Collectibles, he was the first one to do Whatnot for the video game category. Because when Whatnot came out, it was just cards and Funko Pops, right?
Right.
And then he told me about it, and I was like, cool, yeah, sure. I never done anything live, So he gave a good word out for me. And then, from there on, they contacted me. They sent me a whole email, and they gave me the whole explanation of how it works. So I was like, oh, okay, so it's like a live Instagram, but with the auction built into it.
eBay with Twitch.
Yeah, there
that's
you
how I
go.
look at
Exactly. So that's how I got into Whatnot. And I'm going to say this. If it wasn't for Whatnot, man, I would have been in a deep hole.
Yeah.
How much percentage of your sales now is Whatnot compared to like in-store sales?
That's a good question.
You run twice a week? Once a week?
I try to do twice a week.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
I used
pop
to do 3 to 4 times a week, but again, we're just so busy. So
Yeah.
I would say maybe like 70% in the store and 30% Whatnot.
Okay.
Just because we do it less now, But yeah, man, if it wasn't for Whatnot, I have no idea where Game Tower would be.
Wow.
Yeah, because those days of having the doors closed.
Yeah, you're like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
no one can buy from me.
Yeah. And at the same time, I didn't want to let go of my team either.
Because you were in the LA area, right?
I was in the LA area, Santa Clarita area.
And that's LA
Northridge.
County?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's the difference too. Like places like us, like Orange County, a lot of places just you can stay open.
I think
LA
I
was
was-
much more strict, so you had no option.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
Huntington Beach for me, I was closed down for I think only a month and a half. Versus, how long were you closed down during COVID? Do you remember?
Well, because each store had a different scenario.
Yeah, every county will treat you
And
different.
Yeah.
every town was different too, probably.
Yeah,
huh?
so like Santa Clarita, I would say it was the worst.
Yeah.
They're super strict over there. And I'm not too sure about this, but I don't think they're part of LA County, so they're allowed to do whatever they want, with their mini
Well,
laws over there.
They went off of city ordinances, is what it was.
Yeah.
City laws. And that's
Right.
what basically everybody went off of.
And it also depends even who, it really, everything comes down to who the person is. Like even, I don't want to say a business, but a business in my family that runs a business down here, they weren't supposed to be open. And the cops went and they were like, I don't care if you're open. I think this stuff's stupid.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, okay, cool.
No,
They can stay open,
In Santa Clarita, it was probably the worst experience for me, and that's probably one of the reasons why we had to close down Santa Crida. That happened December 2021, I think.
That sucks.
Yeah, I can't remember because there's so many damn problems with that city. And at one point, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna open the doors because
like I need money.
Because it's been what 8, 9, 10 months. I can't remember how long we were closed for that store.
And then half the politicians in the area left all their stuff open.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the part that would piss people off the most. They'd all have their vineyards open in their stores, and it's like, screw you guys.
I think you told me that, sir, but weren't you trying, they wouldn't let you open. You were trying to say you were a necessity.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, whatever the rules were, it didn't really matter to me because there was a Best Buy down the street from us. They were open the whole time.
See,
yeah, it's like they were.
What is it? Rules for thee, but rules for thee, but not for me. Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah. It was like Walmart's, Costco's. They were all open.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're Best Buy got in on that, which is so shady. So they were saying that they were a necessity,
exactly,
but
because
you were
they had
not.
toilet paper and food, which is what candy that they sell.
Oh, that's true. They were selling toilet paper towards the end.
I wonder if they did that just so they could say that they were a necessity.
Yeah, wow. And so the
BS.
city sent out inspectors to our store to make sure we were shut down.
So much BS.
I'm not gonna lie, one of them did come to our store while we had it open, and he was giving us a hard time. And I think I had a legit argument, and I was like, well, sir, I will close down my store if you make sure to close down that Best Buy down the street.
Yeah, good for you.
Because they're selling PlayStations, Xboxes, and Nintendo Switches.
Yep.
Yeah. I sell the same thing. The only thing I don't sell is computers and, I don't know, office
Twizzlers.
chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. I mean, that's literally the same business.
Yeah.
The Best Buys and what we do. It's electronics.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right? Is what it is.
So much horse crap during that time.
From there, it got worse, right? Because I remember I didn't listen.
Yeah.
So I just kept the store open. And then they send the sheriff's departments on us to shut down. And they put that stupid paper on the window to revoke your business license and all that.
Oh, my gosh.
And I remember the sheriff going up. And then he put that paper and he just hopped back in his car and he drove off and I got that paper, ripped it off and threw it at him.
I have a hard time talking about
because bro, that thing just pissed me off, you know. And then that paper I threw at him, I actually picked it up again and I was like, you know what? I'm going down to City Hall. So I went down to City Hall like a maniac and I was like, what is this? You know, going all crazy.
Yeah.
And then some lady basically said that they revoked our business license because we refused to close. So meaning they kicked us out.
I struggle talking about like the COVID times, not about like even COVID itself. Well, that's a whole different story. But like there was so much horse crap going on during that time where the rules were just getting pulled out of people's buttholes.
Yeah.
24/7 every other day. Yeah. Which a whole different story. I refused to follow any of them because it was like almost like a protest against it personally for me. I'm like, this is the dumbest crap I've ever heard of, but that's a different thing for me.
Did you ever think about in hindsight, like going back and like suing the city of like Santa Clarita for that? I almost feel like you would have had a good case.
People did win cases during COVID.
I had a lot going on, you know, because of the other stores too. I did talk to a family friend about, you know, getting a lawyer, but then, you know, I have to take money out of my pocket. I don't think it was, you know, necessary for me to do that. And I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to focus on the other two stores, transfer all that inventory to the other two.
Yep.
And we'll just go from there, you know. And everything went fine until, well, I'm pretty sure you guys know what happened to LA.
Yep. Which we will talk about.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
We have a whole topic section for that.
One of the things that I kind of want to turn around the topic of this one is like, what kind of like led you into gaming? Like, what was like one of those things that like got you to stay into games?
So just, like, you know, every few months you get that new game that comes out, right? So, I have a lot of favorite games, you know, Metal Gear, FIFA, Gears of War, Halo. So
you just named like my top 5 worst games.
Really?
Gears of War is not a top worst game. You're a liar.
Isn't Fortnite your favorite?
Oh God! Okay, listen, FIFA and Metal Gear are some of my least favorite games.
What?
You don't like Metal Gear?
Metal Gear?
I hate them.
What's wrong with this guy?
I have ADD.
I love
so you get me in
Metal
a
Gear.
stealthy game. I'm like, I need to move. But yeah, go ahead, keep talking. Don't let me interrupt. I'm an idiot.
I guess the storyline, right? Because you know they keep adding part 2, part 3, and so on. So. I guess just the storytelling of those games gets you into it, just like watching a movie.
Yeah,
you know. So,
I get that.
And of course in the retro world, right? playing N64 games, of course. You know, Smash Bros. Mario.
What's your favorite game of all time?
GoldenEye.
N64.
Yeah.
Wow. Another game that aged like trash.
I easily put like a good 1,000 hours.
Same, yeah.
Maybe more as a kid with all the cheat codes and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Metal Gear, going on what you were saying, I think Metal Gear, I could be wrong, comments will correct me.
Yeah.
I think it was the first game ever that like hired an actual like director for the story. Mm-hmm. Like, we want to get a real story out of this. Like, we don't just want to, you know,
You mean the PS1 one?
save the princess. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I give it credit for the story for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say those would probably be the reasons why, like, I'm heavily into gaming, of course, you know. Storytelling. That's all it is. Yeah.
Did you have like a favorite memory while playing those games?
Probably with my brother before he moved out. He actually, like, I had a small little collection.
Yeah.
He actually passed on his big collection to mine because he's an aircraft mechanic, so he had to go to different schools and go study that. So
Man's man.
he was more of the PlayStation, Xbox guy. I was more of the Nintendo, Sega guy. And
Same.
then once I had everything, I was able to explore new games, you know. Because, you know, we were, I think we were 9 years apart. So
Yep.
my mom didn't let me play the rated amateur games yet. So,
Good for you.
I had a, like, Grand Theft Auto. I didn't play that until, like, probably, like, sometime in high school, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
I still haven't even ever really played them. I just avoided them and never played them.
yeah.
So good.
And I hear they're amazing, but it was never my
great.
thing. I was like,
GTA 5 is great.
I've heard good word about it. Do you think you'll be able to do it forever?
I'll be honest, probably not.
Okay.
Probably not.
You, Chris?
I was going to ask you that question too. I've contemplated it. I think I will do it until there is no market left for it, or my
Strictly
legs give
for the
out.
money.
Yeah, I'm fully committed to this. There wouldn't be a business. Not just for the money. Yes, in business you need money to operate.
Yeah.
But I love it so much, and I've dedicated my whole life to it at this point that I don't feel like switching gears.
Yeah.
So I think I'm in for the long haul.
Good.
Yeah. But what is your answer to the question?
If I'm
If you can do it forever.
Forever.
probably not. Just because
The digital market?
the digital market, it's looming over. It's coming. You know, I know you can buy games online, but I'm talking about when it's fully digital.
And then the nostalgia heads like us all start to be too old to whatever.
Yeah.
So give it a time frame. What is your estimate of when? All right, all the video game stores shut down.
12
so
years.
I know. Give me the time. How much time?
12 years.
I don't know, man. I'll say maybe sooner than that. Probably like
Sooner.
2030, maybe. That's like
6 years from now.
I
Dang,
mean,
I better not sign any long-term
Text the
leases.
wife.
hey man, I got a plumbing company, so we're good.
Do you have a backup plan?
Yeah, because my father owns his own plumbing company.
Okay, so you would switch out
before
of it?
Game Tower, I was doing that. So
Gotcha. I have no backup plan.
Real estate it is.
I'll teach you editing. I'll teach you how to
You
edit.
need a plumber.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Everybody's been waiting to
Six-
kind of hear. Oh, you want to go?
Just 6 years, though, huh? You really think it's 6
Yo,
years?
he's stuck on it, dude.
He's so
I got
worried.
scared.
You think that's it, huh? You think that's
The only
soon?
reason why I say that is because customers that come to my store, they're always looking for a console that has a million games in it. That's all they're looking for. So and then I'll explain. Oh well, usually people do that, you know, underneath the table. They emulate the games. You probably need to find those guys on Craigslist.
Looking for the modded stuff.
Yeah, the modded stuff. You know, so we're getting those
got our
questions a lot.
But
you
how
know?
is your like over the past year? You don't have to go into specifics, but would you say your numbers are up, down, same?
Definitely up.
Up.
Definitely up. Yeah.
Let's go.
So even being up, because I'm up as well, and like we just had SoCal Gaming Expo, and all the vendors crushed it. So people are in the market buying it. You think 6 years, bubble burst, dead, over? I just gotta know. I mean, maybe you're right. I have no idea either. You know what I mean?
Also, too, we got to see what happens with GameStop.
I was going to ask you about GameStop. Yeah, like your opinion on have you noticed them getting much more into the retro gaming community recently? I have.
Yeah, they're definitely increasing their buyback list. So I definitely seen that. But also too, just because I read a lot of like their Business Insider and what their quota every month and what they do per year, but they're still closing stores, month by month, whether they close one or two. So it's definitely shrinking. I don't know if you guys know, but the CEO is the owner of Chewy.com.
Yep.
So
Ryan Cohen, I think it's Ryan Cohen.
So if you see his business model, he only has warehouses and he just ships out to your house. He's going to use that same format with GameStop at one point.
So I think GameStop had tried that business model, that's Ryan Cohen. He wants to do everything online, and I think he but he worked his way into GameStop's CEO, and then he thought, okay, we'll turn this into an online company, which really didn't make sense because you have 4,500 retail stores.
Yeah.
What I've seen recently is I think they're pivoting now and saying, okay, we're not going to do all online retro, and they're going to start putting it in stores.
Right.
Which they've never. I think they've done it a little bit, but I think that us as video game store owners and the other thousands of video game store owners across the country has caught GameStop's attention.
Yeah, definitely.
But my opinion on it, I think they might be a little bit too late to the game now.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think stores like mine and yours and the other thousands and Rick's and all these game store owners we know are so much more ingrained in the community than I think GameStop ever could be.
Yeah.
So I'm not as afraid of GameStop now as I think I was years ago.
Yeah.
That's my opinion on it.
Yeah, because even if they do go out, like they close all brick and mortars, which I believe they will pretty soon. I'll say in the next few years, we'll definitely see an increase of foot traffic. But I don't know. Since they're sold nationwide, it really depends if physical games are still going to be valuable versus the digital games. You get what I'm saying? Because
I get what you're saying.
I have people that do I know people that work at GameStop, and they tell me all the time that when they don't have something in stock, they just tell the customer to buy it online. Sometimes they don't even sell systems at brick and mortar stores.
Well, what I've found, and you probably found this too over the last 10 years, is people always ask, are you competition with GameStop? And I'm like, no, we're not competition. I go, GameStop sends us so much business.
Yeah, exactly.
And in fact, what I've done when I would open a new store in an area, I would go to the local GameStops. I'd be like, hey guys, by the way, I just want to introduce myself. I have a video game store down here.
Send them my way.
Yeah. And we get so many referrals, but that might stop if now all of a sudden they become more of a retro game.
Get out of our turf, bro.
Yeah.
Stay out of our lane.
And you are right, though, that they have, I don't know if they have 4,500 stores anymore because they've closed a bunch, but they still have a wide network.
Yeah,
and are in so many markets that they certainly could impact us if they decide to become more like all-encompassing retro video game stores.
Yeah.
Which, one other thing I heard recently is that GameStop had reached out to a convention to ask if they could be a vendor at a retro gaming convention.
Yeah, it's Retro Rick.
Yeah, I didn't know if I should mention it. Retro Rick said that.
At his convention they asked.
No way.
They asked him that. And he he just told me that a couple days ago, and I'm like, what the heck?
All I replied is, you're going to get a good video title out of that. That's all that matters in my world for him, is making a good video out of it.
But that's the first time. I think I remember years ago, GameStop, I think they ran their own convention at one point.
They did.
You guys remember that? Remember they had something?
Anaheim Convention Center in 2016.
Oh, it was out here.
2016.
You went to it?
Yeah, I was there with my brother.
What was it? Like, what kind of show was it?
There were just any new release games, and they were giving out free games. There was even like Just Dance was whatever the performance they were doing.
Nothing
back then.
compared to SoCal.
So it was like an E3 type thing they were trying to do, and then they shut it down.
Exactly, yeah.
But this is them actually trying to go to a clearly retro gaming convention to vend.
Rick should just steer them in the wrong direction and tell them all wrong information about everything.
Just sends them to an empty field.
So they give them wrong information when they're like, so the retro scene, what are they into? Just say like they're into Just Dance. That's the hot game. Like, just steer them wrong. So when they go into the retro scene, they're just completely off and screwed up and stay out of everyone's way.
Yeah.
What I find interesting about that would be awesome is that has got to that's got to come down from corporate. Like, it's not like the local GameStop. It's like, we want to do a game. Like, somebody in corporate was like, we're going to vend at Retro Rick's Expo. That's a corporate.
No one knows the name. I'm like helping him make flyers and stuff, and I'm like, Rick, what's the name of your convention again? He's like, dude, come on. Which is Retro Fest, by the way.
Retro Fest.
Retro Fest in the middle of Arkansas.
I think everybody's going to call it Retro Rick's Expo.
That's all it's going to be called.